What's going on, guys? Your boy Joey Shake 72 coming to you guys with a video right now. So I want to go over some news from The Athletic. There's some behind-the-scenes news about how the Eagles are running things, how they've been running things, since Doug Peterson walked in the door to obviously right now in 2021 and what's been going on. There's rumored sources from a lot of people that want to keep themselves anonymous, talking about when Doug Peterson was hired as the head coach. Every decision that Doug has made, Howie Roseman has botched it. Howie Roseman has put his hands in front of his face and pretty much said, nope, we're not doing it. I knew this news a while back. Frank Reich was supposed to get fired after the 2016 season. As soon as he walks the door after 1 year with this horrible roster that we had, he was supposed to be fired. Doug got in the way and defended Frank Reich. And they kept him for another year, obviously winning a Super Bowl. Everyone had their hand in that Super Bowl. I think Frank Reich obviously was the brains behind the Super Bowl. Howie Roseman did a good job with those free agent signings, obviously. So that was a good year to where everyone pretty much produced, and, we win our first championship, which was fantastic. And then coming for the next couple years, every Tuesday, Doug and Howie would have a meeting, whether it's Doug, Jeffrey Lurie, and Howie. I don't know how they did it. Apparently, it was Doug and Howie. They would have a meeting every Tuesday. And even during the Super Bowl year, Doug was ridiculed of everything. I'm talking, if we only won by 3 points, Howie Roseman said, why did we only win by 3 points? We shouldn't have won by 3 points. So he was very hard on Doug a lot, which caused Doug to be more stressed every single year. I think 2020, I never saw Doug at the podium so stressed. And then kind of seeing him this offseason because his son might get drafted or wants to get drafted in the NFL. So I see how healthy he is now from not being here. So good for him. I have nothing against Doug Peterson. I think he's a great guy off the field, on the field. I think he's made bad decisions, but whatever he thought he was doing was right. And I know he wasn't trying to sabotage this team. I know he was trying to do the right thing in his own mind, but it wasn't the right thing. Okay. Not only, blocked from Frank Reich getting fired, having these meetings every Tuesday with Howie Roseman and being asked questions like, why'd you only win by 3 points? You should have got more points on the board. Kind of just picking at every single thing Doug was doing. Okay, every time Doug wanted to make a move, Howie Roseman put his foot down, and that was pretty much what was going on. If you want to go towards the 2020 season, the rumor was that Doug, wanted to bench Carson Wentz earlier in the season, which really made sense. Out of a normal football team, you would have benched a quarterback playing that bad, throwing 2 picks a game. By at least the 4th or 5th game, you would have got benched. Okay, but didn't happen. So now hearing that Doug wanted Jalen Hurts to wanted Carson Wentz to get benched, start Jalen Hurts the rest of the year, and then coming into the 2021 season before Doug got fired, Doug was going to move with Carson Wentz being the starting quarterback. So that was the plan, and obviously Doug had the piece of paper saying, "Hey, I want to make Matt Burke my defensive coordinator. I want to make Press Taylor my quarterback, my offensive coordinator." So, there's a lot of different things that have happened here. So then I see another thing about Trey Burton today, and he actually spoke out on a video. I think today, or maybe it was taken. I think he's still a free agent. I'm not sure. Maybe that's why he's talking a little bit, because he's not with a team. And, I guess P was asked about certain things about how Philadelphia Eagles front office actually runs. Now, Trey Burton left the Eagles after 17. He went to the Chicago Bears on a pretty big contract and went to the Colts, obviously. But he kind of said the difference between the Eagles front office and the other front offices he's been in Chicago and Indy. In Chicago and Indy, he pretty much said that, the GM knows what's going on, but he didn't have really final say. It was kind of a joint decision, which at the end of the day, I think is what should be happening. Everybody should put their input. Like Howie says, everybody puts their input and everybody communicates, but does that really help you make your decision, or do you just botch everybody's decisions or everyone's opinions and then just make your own decision yourself? Okay. He said about the Philadelphia Eagles front office, he said nothing gets past Howie Roseman. He said absolutely nothing. You can't even sneeze without asking Howie Roseman. I'm telling you, you, it's like that. I mean, I'm not even surprised, but I'm glad that I'm hearing stuff like this, especially from Trey Burton, that former player with the Philadelphia Eagles. So it really does help to get that consensus of, yeah, there is 100% control from Howie Roseman right now, and I think it has been going on for a while. How Jeffrey Lurie has been allowing this, I don't know why, but I think Howie Roseman's on a short lease in 2021. This is the last year of his contract, and you never know what could happen. I think that Nick Sirianni and Howie Roseman do collaborate on some things. I think that, you know, he's got Howie's ear a little bit on players that he does want, so that's why going to this draft, you know, I don't think they're going to draft a quarterback. I think they're going to get the right players, and I think that we're going to go towards a good direction. If Howie Roseman could show, maybe Jeffrey Lurie could say, okay, well, we're restructuring all these older players. Everybody we have drafted has not worked out here. So obviously something has to change. So I think Nick Sirianni has got Howie's ear a little bit and saying, you know, these are the type of players I want here. Because if you're a head coach coming into a brand new team as the new head coach, then you got to have some say in the players you want. It's not the players that Howie wants. It's how you want to. It's about, do you want this person to be your quarterback? Do you want this type of running back? Do you want this type of receiver? You know, it all comes into effect, okay? Because then what's the point of being a head coach if you have no say in absolutely anything? You just have the say of an opinion that won't matter at the end of the day because Howie Roseman has the final say. So there's a lot going on. It was really nice to hear Trey Burton say what he said, and honestly, I believe it all 100%, and I don't think he would lie about it, okay? Nothing gets past Howie Roseman, and that's at the end of the day. But this coming into 2021, I think we're going to get a little bit of a different approach. I think Jeffrey Lurie wanted to change the approach, okay? Obviously, firing Doug was one piece of the puzzle, okay, that needed to be out because I don't know if Howie Roseman was allowing him to make coaching changes. I think Doug has made his own bad decisions as it is, but I think, you know, that little plan that Doug had with the coaching changes didn't please Jeffrey Lurie at all. So you go into this season with a brand new coaching staff, and you know what? I think Nick's going to have a little bit to say in some of these decisions because I don't think it's right that one guy has control over everything. Because if I'm at a job and I can't communicate with my team, or if I communicate with my team and they're just not going to take my opinion into account and just kind of hammer it down and say, nah, it's not going to work every single time, there's no point of taking this job. There's no point of working at this job if there's no team players, especially in this front office. Everybody's got to be a team player, and I think everybody should have a say in what to do. I think Nick Sirianni's resume kind of speaks for itself, what type of players he wants here. Okay, and a lot going on. So other than that, guys, that's pretty much it. It's all I really want to say about just you know, the Athletic put out some news about the dysfunction of this team. Obviously, you know, the last thing, if I didn't mention it before, the firing of Carson Walsh, the wide receiver coach, and the offensive coordinator that year. Okay, like we tried firing two guys that Doug said were going to stay here, and the next day they were fired. So there was some type of a power struggle. Mike Rowe ended up getting fired the next day. Carson Walsh got fired the next day after Doug saying that they were staying. So obviously he was brought up to the office, and Howie Roseman said, no, they're not staying, they're going. So I can't tell half the time how he is doing things that he's hurting this team, but he's doing things that are helping this team at the same time. But you know, at the end of the day, guys, like, this has to change. I hope Jeffrey Lurie is seeing. I mean, it showed. The resume shows. It shows this team since the Super Bowl. You haven't drafted one player that's really worked out. I mean, really, guys, we don't have a Pro Bowler from any of these drafts the past few years. I mean, every time we release Rasul Douglas, Sidney Jones, you know, we do all these moves and they're playing better somewhere else. Obviously, this is why we have a new coaching staff, but, you know, this is the last year of Howie's contract. This is a make it or break it, because if this team plays bad this year or bad decisions are made this year, then I think really you have to do is protect those 3 first-round picks you have in 22, and you got to go get a GM. I wouldn't let Howie Roseman touch this draft next year. Don't be like the New York Jets when they had McCagnon a couple years ago. He did free agency. He overpaid people in free agency. He spent $123 million in guaranteed money, and he pretty much messed up the whole team. Did the draft, and then they fired him. And then that's when they brought Joe Douglas in. So, you know what I mean? When Joe Douglas was here, at least I respected the fact that I guess Howie was put on a leash a little bit, and Joe Douglas was like kind of checking him on the decisions he was making. Not saying that some of it helped, but I think with Joe here, it helped a lot more, kind of like being Howie's right-hand guy that's going to keep him in check a little bit. So we don't have that right now. Obviously, Andrew Berry ended up leaving a couple years ago, and he's with the Browns, and he's doing a fantastic job over there. So, I mean, really, guys, it's just Jeffrey Lurie better let Nick Sirianni get in Howie Roseman's ear on the players that he wants. There's no point of being a head coach if you can't make any decisions, or at least you can't even get the players you want. Okay, and this draft is going to show everything because he's got 11 draft picks. He's got no excuse not to move up or move back or do something else. If he wants a solid, fantastic player, he's got the ammo to do it. Not just picks for this year. That's excluding the Zach Ertz trade, but he has picks for next year as well. Because I don't think we're going to be using 3 first-round picks in one draft next year. Let's just be honest here. I think one will definitely be traded to get something. You know, you could trade one of those picks for more picks for the year after, or trade for a great player to come here. That's all I really want to say, guys. Don't want to make this video too long. Appreciate everybody stopping by. Let me know what you guys think about this whole situation and, just hearing about it. Other than that, guys, that's pretty much it. I'll see you guys later. Shakes going up, follow. So peace out, guys. Peace.